And we're underway in the minor semi-final between the Melbourne Phoenix and the Sydney Sandpipers. Sydney team with the first centre pass. Let's take a look how these two teams will line up. First up, the Melbourne Phoenix. Sherelle McMahon has moved into the goal shooter position. Eloise Southby at goal attack. Meanie, Venison, Chocolate through the centre court. Taverner and Chatfield, tough defensive combination in goal defence and goalkeeper. They're coached by Joyce Brown. The Sydney Sandpipers take to the court with a bit of a changed lineup than what we've seen in previous weeks. Morgan and Avellino, they stay the same in goal to shooter and goal attack. Cramsey has moved into wing attack. McCaffrey's gone back to centre. Nicole McMahon has moved from centre to wing defence. And we can see that Monia Gerard is back in the familiar goal defence position, and Neville is in at goalkeeper. The coach is Lenore Blades for the Sydney Sandpipers. And early on, we're at one apiece.
Gerard settles down in the middle. Avellino needs to put in a great performance here, assisting Morgan.
As Morgan shoots the second, our umpires looking after this match, Michelle Fippard and Kate Wright. And the Phoenix on the attack. Venice went for the quick pass, but McMahon hadn't made the break. Now McMahon dishes off to Southby. Southby levels it 2 apiece. Eloise had a great match last week. 22 from 26 at 85%.
Oh, good take there, yeah, strong take. Should have settled, had the space, had the time.
Nobody in front of her at that occasion, but Morgan will get the chance to set it this time. And shoots her third goal from 4 attempts. We'll point out to you that Jo Morgan, before she started this match, was only 22 goals away from 2,500 career goals in the Commonwealth Bank Trophy. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, and we'll point it out to you when she comes up to break that record, as we're sure she will. McCaffrey, nowhere to go. Out to Cramsey, now into Morgan. From range here, Jo Morgan. Beautiful shot from Morgan. Sandpipers have skipped out to a 2-goal lead. And this is what they needed to do from the word go, the Sandpipers, if they're going to have any chance of staying in this match with the Phoenix.
And I think the Phoenix will be very aware that that is the lady there on court they need to shut down completely. Not only shut her down within the circle, but also shut her down visually as the ball is brought into the forward line.
Good defensive work from the Sandpipers.
Wing defence, contact, penalty. Where the wing defence
already
is now.
McMahon making good, strong options, forward options last week against the Thunderbirds. Meandered around the goalpost. Southby was the one that was offering, but had little assistance.
Through the hands of Nicole McMahon, but it's okay. It's cleaned up. Gerard to McMahon. Gerard, long option to nobody.
I think it was a panic there from Monia Gerard. She was looking for Avellino. A few long options early in this first quarter have created that drive into the Sandpipers forward line.
Well, the penalty going against the Phoenix, so the Sandpipers with a chance to extend this 3-goal lead even further. Avellino out to McCaffrey. Morgan has to stretch for it.
Was a stepping call on Jo Morgan. And again, a long option. McMahon taking a tumble.
And Neville gets pinned for her second penalty early on. That'll be the key.
Oh, good pass.
Great timing from the 2 goalers for the Melbourne Phoenix. It's worth taking another look at, Monica.
Rhythm there working. Venice drives a long one into McMahon. Forward position. Takes the option and gets the penalty in the end.
Avellino to line up for her first attempt, and it's a good one. And really, the combination of Avellino is quite crucial to the Sandpipers lineup. Monica, if she's on song and she's really got her timing going, then she's unstoppable with McCaffrey. And of course, we know Jo Morgan and her attempts at goals and what she can do.
And I think Morgan has made us aware of that throughout the year. She has said that she requires the assistance of Avellino, Cramsey and McCaffrey. And when that forward line is working in sync, it's very easy for Morgan to put the goals in.
6 plays 4, under 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter of the minor semi-final. Sydney Sandpipers, this time last year they crashed out. And if you speak to any of the players, they definitely want to go better than 4th position in this competition. They want to make it through to that preliminary final next week.
Interesting stat, Simone, a 4th place side at the end of a minor round and going into the final series as we see Southby put one in for the Phoenix. 4th place side has only ever won the first semi once, and that was the Ravens in 1999.
Good touch from Chocolate. Unfortunately, couldn't manage to keep it on court.
Great endeavour. Chocolate follows the tip up, runs out of court.
McMahon from the sideline into Gerard. Holds it up, looking for the option. And again, Gerard's second thrown pass that hasn't hit its mark. On that occasion, great defensive work from the Melbourne Phoenix. Cut off any options.
Must be a direction from coach Lenore Blades, because that's the second time we've seen Gerard look for the longer pass. She had the option short pass in front of her.
Off target for McMahon. Oh, unfortunate for Neville there. Joyce Brown, you can see 68% of wins. As Southby sinks another one for the Phoenix. They've scored the last two in a row. They're back within one. And the centre pass, an opportunity here to level up the match again.
Both Phoenix shooters 3 from 4 at 75%. As Coach Blades for the Sandpipers on the sideline.
And just drops in for Sherelle McMahon. As the crowd appreciate the efforts, I'd have to say a bit of a disappointing crowd here at the State Netball Centre for this minor semi-final. By no means have they filled this venue for such a quality match, and considering the Melbourne Phoenix are the defending champions of this league, you'd have to say that this is not the support I expected their home team would get.
Yes, in agreement, Simone. However, the noise at the moment is being emitted to perhaps sound like a full capacity crowd, and that's what the Phoenix are hoping for.
Well, the Phoenix have scored the last 3 as Southby, short, took it from a distance, and the opportunity to take the lead here. And McMahon does just that. Interesting to note, the Sandpipers have 11 penalties while the Phoenix only have 4. And that has been the difference in the last couple of minutes that has allowed the Melbourne Phoenix to turn around the run of goals. They've scored the last 5 in a row, Melbourne.
Good fluent action from McMahon. She looks as if she's found rhythm as well, as we see play set up again. Taverner beckoning Chatfield to come and take the penalty pass. Subdued movement at the moment in the Phoenix forward line. They're waiting for the move from McMahon. Bit of an overplay from McMahon on the possession of that pass.
Under 7.5 remaining in the first quarter. The Phoenix have scored the last 6 goals in a row to take a 10-7 lead. We've always enjoyed physical encounters between these two teams. Previous times the two of them met has been no different.
Avellino content there to look back, didn't look forward at any stage in that move.
Cramsey over the top to Morgan. Plenty of pressure on Morgan from Chatfield. Morgan, nevertheless, sinks the goal. 6 from 8 at 75% for Joe. And they've just broken that run of goals by the Melbourne Phoenix.
10 attempts to Sandpipers, 13 to the Phoenix once again in the forward line. Great work. Magnificent work there from Avellino. That's what Morgan is expecting.
And that's the timing they need. If they're to play their best netball, the Sandpipers, on some occasions this year, we've cringed at the opportunities they've let slip. And then on other occasions, they've played sensationally. And we're thinking about such matches as when they played the Thunderbirds.
They've got the goods there, Simone, to pip the Phoenix here today. I think the build-up for the Phoenix, they had David Parkin, former Carlton coach, go out to the Phoenix training during the week, give them a bit of a pep talk, and I think Joyce Brown is expecting her side to believe in themselves.
Well, at the moment, they're out by 2, and the passes just make it into the hands for the Sydney side. Joe Morgan, 8 from 10 now. Scoreboard ticks over. Sydney back within 1, 11 plays 10.
McMahon again, good hands there from Gerard.
Monia Gerard, before this match, her total deflections for the year stood at 60. She's always in the action, great anticipation. Knows exactly where her opposite number and also where the ball is going to be.
She plays with incredible intensity. You can see it on her face. She's totally tuned in. Up-and-coming player in New South Wales ranks, and here in the National League Forum with the Sandpipers. Got a tough job today, Monia Gerard against Southby.
The Melbourne Phoenix maintain their 2-goal lead, coming up to 5 minutes remaining. And the contact. Avellino with the goal. 3 from 3 for Natalie Avellino. Good support of her main shooter, Jo Morgan. She's got the sparkles in their hair tonight, Nat. She thinks it's a special occasion. She's ready. 12 plays 11.
Extension of space there by McMahon. Takes the Phoenix out by 2. Oh, good attempt there. Kavanagh coming over the top. Chatfield had front position. Morgan virtually sandwiched. She gets the penalty.
Jo Morgan with her 9th goal takes the Sandpipers tally to 12. They still trail by 1 with 4 minutes 20 remaining in the first quarter as the Phoenix go backwards and get pinned for the stepping. Kelly Venice. So an opportunity now for Sydney to level up the scoreline. Ramsey.
Oh, good attempt there. Kavanagh thought about coming in, but it was picked up by Chocolate. Let's have a look at this. Chocolate was right there, cut off the path to Avellino.
Avellino's come up with an intercept of her own, so Sydney back in possession. McCaffrey.
Holds play up as Avellino has forward position. And a great shot from Matt Avellino. Takes her out 4 from 4, 100% shooting in this first quarter.
3.5 remaining in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 13 apiece. Sandpipers have scored the last 2 in a row. The last time these two teams played was in round 13. We went to the first quarter break with 1 goal difference. Great work from Taverner to stay in court and maintain possession for the Phoenix. Great running netball there. Michelle Neville had no real position, tried valiantly to stop the ball from getting to Sherelle McMahon. But McMahon edges the Melbourne Phoenix ahead just by 1. You can see the last time they met was in round 13, a couple weeks ago. The Phoenix on that occasion 62 defeated the Sandpipers 48. Quite a large scoreline there, but when they went to the quarter break, it was only 15-14. We thought we were going to have a screamer of a match.
Yes, strong contact there from Neville on McMahon. She gathers a penalty and a shot for the Melbourne Phoenix. Here we go, McMahon going up and collected Neville's hand, I think, in her nose, face.
Sandpipers on the attack. Oh, Avellino.
Oh,
Morgan uncharacteristically off target, but does enough to retain the possession. And again, Sandpipers still with the ball from the baseline. Morgan 9 from 13 at 69%. Avellino manages to steady the ship.
here's Morgan. She sets it up, easy shot, collects the rebound, takes it again. How many times do we see the easy shot such as this go astray? Frustrating for Morgan.
Touch from McCaffrey sends the ball over the sideline, but it's been pulled into the circle. Meany. Neville picking up plenty of penalties as she tries to stop the combination of Southby and McMahon. Neville now has 10 penalties, while McMahon has 12 goals and Southby has 4. Phoenix out by 2, 16 plays 14.
Total penalty blowout at the moment. Well and truly in favour of the Sandpipers, 21, if I can read that correctly there on our stat screen, and 12 to the Phoenix. And as you've mentioned, Simone, a lot of those defensively being picked up from Neville.
Southby rolls off and Neville will come up with possession. Under a minute remaining for the Sandpipers to level up the scores as we head towards the first quarter break. Gerard off to McMahon. Ramsey look for the quick offload into Morgan. Jo Morgan levels it up at 16 apiece. And they have the centre pass, the Sydney Sandpipers. If they're quick, they can go to the first quarter break with the lead. I'm sure a huge psychological boost, but Liz Taverner doesn't want that to happen. Great defensive work, good anticipation. Venice holds it up, cross to Meany, high floated ball into McMahon. And McMahon takes the Phoenix to a 1-goal lead as the timekeeper gets out of his chair, and that is quarter time here at the State Netball Centre. The Melbourne Phoenix 17 lead the Sydney Sandpipers 16.
And let's look at the first quarter statistics. And
Sydney Sandpipers with the first possession of the second quarter of this knockout minor semi-final. Gerard again throws it away. 3 turnovers in that fashion for Monia Gerard, and we've only just started the second quarter. In such a tight game, those types of mistakes can become crucial as McCaffrey tries to steal possession. Southby onto McMahon. Oh, McMahon short with the shot, and Neville comes up with possession, but the outlet pass wasn't exactly what she wanted. Nevertheless, contact has come up against Venice.
good backup by Avellino. McCaffrey free to the space. Avellino charging her way through, takes Taverner.
That's it. Shuttle pass.
I'm sure both teams knew that this was going to be a physical encounter as Natalie Avellino continues her good shooting night. 6 from 7 attempts at 86%. Levels up the score at 17 apiece.
McMahon now looks back to Southby for the double play, but Venice picks the pass up instead. That's better from McMahon.
And it's congratulations to Sherelle McMahon. She's playing her 75th Commonwealth Bank Trophy tonight, or Commonwealth Bank Trophy match tonight. As Morgan works hard against Chatfield, and Chatfield does a great job. Avellino does a better job, but look at that from young Bianca Chatfield. Didn't give up hope after she'd missed the first couple of rebounds. In the end, came up with possession.
Oh, stolen by Gerard. Came in quickly, has got the stepping call. Avellino not releasing the ball, and it is advanced. And we have said that over the last few weeks, Simone, that these umpires aren't taking too much these days.
I think especially with the top 4 teams that have been left, all 4 teams do play a very physical brand of netball, as we see McMahon go around her defender and shoot that goal to take Melbourne out to a 2-goal lead. If the umpires don't get on top of this early, and they have in the last couple of rounds, then it really can get out of hand.
Switch across the circle. That was almost written on Meany's face. Venice takes Southby to the top. Good movement by the Melbourne Phoenix as McMahon gathers her stance again, but not required as Southby. 5 from 8 at 63% for the Melbourne Phoenix.
Phoenix have scored the last 3. 20 plays 17. Just had the wrong player out of play there. Southby, in fact, thought she had to stand aside as Morgan lines up.
It was a good dummy there by Avellino. She drew the other defender off. Morgan passed straight into Morgan.
Jo Morgan, 10 goals till she scores her 2,500th Commonwealth Bank Trophy goal. As we see some great hands from the Phoenix again. Quick possession through the midcourt. Ends up in Sherelle McMahon's hands. McMahon now 16 goals from 18 attempts at 89%. I bet she's breathing a sigh of relief. She didn't have a very happy match last week. As McCaffrey gets a touch. Phoenix 21, the Sandpipers 18, 11.5 remaining in the second quarter.
Not as much pressure placed on both Southby and McMahon in the forward line. Morgan taking all the pressure for the Sandpipers. When you look collectively at the shooting statistics for the year, Morgan has dominated, as we know, well and truly for the Sandpipers, but for the Phoenix, both Southby and McMahon sharing the workload in the goal circle.
McMahon to Venice, now Southby. Neville trying her darndest to stop Sherelle McMahon. Gerard over the top of Southby. Picks up the penalty. Monia Gerard, 5 penalties to her name as Eloise Southby sings her 6th goal from 9 attempts. Melbourne Phoenix 22, Sydney Sandpipers 19.
Shooting statistics for the Phoenix, 89%. McMahon has only missed the 2. Southby, 6 from 9, 67%. Down at the Sandpipers then, Jo Morgan trying to sink that one for the Sandpipers, trailing by 3 at the moment. Make that 2.
22 plays 20. You can see the shooting stats there for the Sydney Sandpipers. Morgan with 70%. That's down on what she normally shoots. Avellino, though, is in form for this match, shooting at 86%. Southby with the goal for the Melbourne Phoenix. 23 now for Melbourne.
Gerard slowing the pass to McMahon. First quarter, she threw a few away. Avellino holding it up, prepared to keep possession.
Interesting to see McCaffrey back at centre for the Sydney Sandpipers. Spent, is Morgan off target again. Uncharacteristic. 67% so far, 14 from 21 attempts. I suppose we expect so much as we see a trademark pass there from Natalie Avellino, the no look, as that goes in and out from Morgan again, and this time Joe sinks it. Still managing to stay in contention, the Sydney Sandpipers, just down by 2, even though their scoring machine is not quite having the night that she would hope for. Southby at the other end, though, is pumped.
Gerard giving a lot of space to Southby. Elevation is Gerard's strong asset, but Southby taking it well. Good work there, Cramsey. Morgan going back to the post. Joe Morgan, 16 from 23 at 70%.
Kate Cramsey's only played 5 matches this season, not including this one that she's suited up for, but she's slotted into this line easily this evening. As we wait for the ball just to come back to Kelly Venice.
You made a point earlier, Simone, that McCaffrey in centre, you haven't seen a lot of her there this year, and you would have been exposed to seeing the Sandpipers a lot more live than I have throughout the course of the year. But here today I can see McCaffrey seems to have fluency in the forward line with Avellino. Cramsey's going to the pocket, working it in well.
Most definitely. And obviously exactly what Lenore Blades was looking for.
Outside the circle.
McCaffrey into Morgan. Taking a bit of a battering, and that's uncharacteristic. That shot was way off.
Perhaps the pressure there of Chatfield and Taverner now working on Morgan as she's clustering a few to the post. Good attempt there by McCaffrey.
It was a good attempt, unfortunately for her. The ball rebounded back into McMahon.
Strong take.
Always strong in the air, Sherelle McMahon, regardless of the defensive pressure that is being exerted upon her. It's the biggest lead of the match, 4 goals. The Phoenix now out to 26-goal lead.
Sorry,
It's
felt
okay.
that. Kelly Venice coming through. McCaffrey and Avellino, but stays with the Melbourne Phoenix. And this particular moment here, Southby and McMahon combining very well in the second quarter.
And it's starting to look dangerous now for the Sandpipers. The lead for the Phoenix has skipped out to 5. This is exactly what happened in their round 13 match. They lost the second quarter, 15-11.
Avellino to take this one here. Taverner, Chatfield takes the jump. Avellino scoring that for the Sydney Sandpipers. 7 from 8. Avellino only missing the 1 to date. 88% shooting. Overall to the post, both sides with 32 attempts.
That one bounces around a little, but drops through the net in the end. Both teams have had 34 attempts at goal. Sandpipers shooting at 71% accuracy, opposed to the Phoenix, who are shooting at 85% accuracy. That is the telling statistic in this match to date.
Avellino trying to create the space for Morgan, putting the ball to where she wants Morgan to go. And quick hands, Natalie Avellino. She is renowned for that. Morgan picks it up on that occasion. Phoenix 29, Sandpipers within 4.
Sandpipers have scored 2 in a row. Maybe that'll get them back into the swing of this game. Venice, McMahon holds it up, back to Venice.
Oh, McMahon not realising that was to Susan Meany. And there we see the great David Parkin, absolute champion coach, former Carlton coach, and a very dear friend of Joyce Brown, has been out with the team throughout the week, giving them a pep talk as such, and at the moment it seems to be working.
Certainly is. Melbourne Phoenix 30 with the 5-goal break on their opponents, the Sydney Sandpipers, in this elimination minor semi-final. Avellino has to stretch to drag that one in, and that one's way too far for Joe Morgan.
Let's have a look at this again. Avellino spots Morgan, sees the space behind her, but just overshoots the target.
Quick hands from the Phoenix. Across the circle to Venice. Gerard gets pinned.
Round 2, thanks, players. That's it.
31 penalties for the Sandpipers, 28 for the Phoenix, and there's the difference. Sherelle McMahon, 22 from 24 attempts at 92%.
Meany releases to the top, and that's favourite move from Susan Meany. McMahon playing into a really solid rhythm here in the second quarter.
7 goals the difference. Coming up to 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Melbourne Phoenix 32, the Sydney Sandpipers 25. Ramsey to Avellino again. Looked one way, bounced past the other. Morgan gets her 18th goal.
That is something that was well established when Natalie Avellino played in South Australia a few years ago, is that if you think that I'm not looking at you, I really am, so be prepared for anything. And Morgan knows a lot about Avellino now, as we see the Phoenix through Southby. 10 from 13 for Eloise Southby, 77%. 39 attempts to post for the Melbourne Phoenix, 36 for the Sandpipers as Cramsey tries to go around the side of Taverner.
Outside, back further. That's it. Shot or pass.
Morgan with the goal after it's set up the way that the umpires wanted it to be. Phoenix 33, Sandpipers 27.
Oh, good work again. Quick hands. Venice playing on to McMahon.
Neville did well to put the pressure on McMahon, but Sherelle knows this is a big match. And she's doing everything she can to put that ball through the net.
Last week against the Thunderbirds, Sherelle McMahon, 23 from 31. And here at the moment, 24 from 28.
Morgan will have to shoot this one from distance, and that's a better shot from Joe. Lenore Blades, plenty of note-taking. By no means is this game over and done with. There's only 6 goals the difference, and we've got 2 whole quarters to play as McMahon gets a touch. But against a team like the Melbourne Phoenix, you certainly don't want to let them get too far ahead.
Good take by Meany in the pocket, had McCaffrey breathing down her neck. Good drop also. And Susan Meany, strong work.
Oh, Avellino, that's a tough pass into Cramsey, who does well. She had 2 defenders on her at the time.
Oh, sweet shot. Great shot there from Avellino.
9 from 10 now for Natalie at 90%. 35 plays 29, under a minute remaining in the first half. Meany holds it up, floats it to Venice. Quick ball into Southby. Unstoppable at the moment, the Melbourne Phoenix. I'm sure the Sandpipers coach Lenore Blades will be happy when halftime rolls around. She can implement some new strategies to her team.
Contact. Phoenix centre, goal third.
So under 30 seconds remaining, Sandpipers can drag it back within 6 as Morgan under a heap of pressure there. Chatfield put a few bumps and scrapes in, but the call didn't come. Morgan didn't take any time, missed the shot, and now the Phoenix with a chance. Indeed, Eloise Southby extends the lead to 8. And that is half-time. Kelly Venice doesn't even get the centre pass away, and the Melbourne Phoenix, the home team, in command. Phoenix. No second chances in this match, and with the Sandpipers down by 8, you can expect that Lenore Blades has made plenty of changes. Nicole McMahon has gone from wing defence to centre. Danielle Harvey has come in at wing defence, while Monica Gerard has gone to the bench. Amy Stevens has come in at goal defence, and Katrina McCaffrey has also gone off. So plenty of changes there for the Sandpipers.
Let's see. McCaffrey's speed, as we see there. Great work by Taverner. McMahon took the intercept, or perhaps the bad pass, turns it back into the circle.
Well, Avellino forced to take the difficult shots at goal, considering Morgan is not really shooting on target at this point. So far, she's done well, shot 10 goals. But at the other end, the defensive combination is struggling to shut down Southby and McMahon. Southby 15 from 18 at 83%.
And how pumped were Phoenix at half-time? They were running up and down the court, keeping warm prior to going into the third quarter in a huddle. McMahon down on the goal line, back up again. I think she just tripped over her own feet. And the umpire saying sorry because she realised the advantage was with McMahon closer to the post, but Southby takes the penalty shot and sinks it for the Melbourne Phoenix.
With 12.5 minutes remaining, it's the Phoenix. 41 to 32, that's 12.5 remaining in this third quarter. The Phoenix won that second quarter, 20 goals to 13. Taverner holds it up through the centre. Nobody wanted it. In the end, it's picked up by Meany. Tav has another chance, this time off to Chocolate.
Right at the top.
Good touch from Harvey. Amy Stevens, I'm sorry.
Great touch there from Venice. Extends, gets the tip, even though it is the way of the Sandpipers. Good attempt.
Ramsey, McMahon, just over the top to Morgan. A long way out, Joe Morgan. Off the back of the rim, but regathers.
Doing a lot of groundwork there, Morgan. Gone off the ball perhaps halfway through the second quarter, and the Sandpipers need her. They rely on her, and she puts that one in for the Sandpipers.
Gee, she's making it look difficult, but Jo Morgan has scored her 2,500th goal in the Commonwealth Bank Trophy. Congratulations to her. That is a phenomenal record that she holds at 79% accuracy for her career. And not too many goalers have gone close to that effort for Jo. I'm sure she just wants to pull out a bit more, though, in this semi-final, because at the moment she's only shooting at 63%.
And after a little bit of confusion there between McMahon and Southby, the Phoenix 42, Sandpipers 33. Good extension there. Chatfield tries to keep the balance and the pass onto a Phoenix player, but Avellino crumbs it, picks it up. Morgan with the tip.
Well, there was nowhere to go for Natalie Avellino. No. She tried two options. They both closed down very, very quickly. In the end, she had to force the pass off to Morgan. Morgan, 23 goals now.
Do we start counting past the 2,500?
I don't think so. We'll wait until she gets close to 3,000 next season.
Cramsey, that was thrown. Susan Meany throws it straight to Cramsey.
Just lacking pace through the mid-court, the Sydney Sandpipers, lacking a bit of direction. That has a lot to do with the Melbourne Phoenix defence, but they're getting possession and just having to stop and look instead of being able to move that ball down to their goal circle.
I'm not being critical at all of Lenore Blades, but she made defensive changes at the half-time break in the way of McCaffrey off, Nicole McMahon into centre, Monia Gerard off, and really a lot of the opportunities that have been in the Sandpipers forward line have gone astray. But she's called on defenders to create more opportunities. We see Chatfield engulfing Morgan. She's had a really good contest against Jo Morgan. Chatfield standing at 188 centimetres, Jo Morgan 190, so just minute difference between the two as Morgan once again lifts it up. Avellino having to speak her through it all.
Sandpipers have scored the last 3 in a row. They're back within 6, 42 plays 36.
McMahon, once again, good body position.
And Sherelle shooting at 84%.
26 goals from 31 attempts, Sherelle McMahon. That one just a bit short. Chocolate,
got the possession, yes. Chocolate. Second intercept of the match. So the Sandpipers had a mini resurgence there, but quickly shut down by the Melbourne Phoenix.
Look at Southby, looking at the space that McMahon can move into, working in unison, the two. And that is the formidable combination that we are known to have seen throughout this season.
44 plays 36, coming up to 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's the Melbourne Phoenix in control of the match.
Good option from Venice there too. Southby 19 from 22, so they've had 53 attempts to post the Melbourne Phoenix, and the Sandpipers 51 attempts, so the overall shooting average and percentage in favour of the Melbourne Phoenix.
And Joe Morgan's miserable night continues. Indeed, Monica, the Phoenix 85% accuracy, the Sandpipers 71%. And across the board, that really is the only telling statistic. Turnovers, penalties, rebounds, all relatively within 1 or 2 of each other.
Where the goalkeeper is. Release the ball, goal shooter. Okay.
Getting a little bit narky underneath the net. Oh, in and out for Sherelle. And this will go the way of Eloise Southby. And the difference is now 10 for the first time in the match. Phoenix 46, the Sandpipers 36.
Avellino picking up the penalty. Taverner sees Venice and don't believe it was off Harvey. No, it was just a wayward pass from Kelly Venice.
Oh, McMahon came screaming from behind Amy Stevens. She didn't even know she was there. Stevens released the ball. McMahon got a touch to it. Look at the speed of Sherelle.
And that's confidence, and that's also great timing. Venice reading McMahon's move. Released the ball very quickly.
It's worth seeing again.
Let's have a look at it there. Unbeknownst to Harvey, here come Sherelle McMahon.
And as we're watching that replay, Natalie Avellino has called an injury time, has gone down with an ankle injury. And a change has been made in that injury time. You can see Christy Doyle has come on at goal attack. They've benched Joe Morgan. Avellino has moved into goal shooter. Megan Fleiner has come on at wing attack. What an interesting move that is from Lenore Blades, but a crucial move. This is an elimination semi-final, and if a player is not in form, as Morgan isn't, shooting at 63%, there is no option. You can't hang around and wait for her to shoot herself into form.
She would be so disappointed.
She would be, because she has played an absolutely crucial role through the entire season for the Sandpipers. She's amassed an enormous amount of goals.
Well, her season to date before this game, Simone, was 537 from 623 attempts at an 86% accuracy rate. During the course of this game, we saw her shoot her 2,500th goal. But at the moment, the Phoenix are steamrolling.
Just noticing there's one other change. Monia Gerard has come back onto the court in goalkeeper. You can see her there under the net as McMahon sinks another goal. So Amy Stevens is still on court, so that means Michelle Neville has gone to the bench.
Meany holding it up. Southby, the top of the transverse line, releases her to the top of the circle. And great work, McMahon, open, beckoning for the pass to come to her. She was free and she scores. Melbourne Phoenix at 50, Sandpipers 36.
14-goal difference. Sherelle McMahon averages 79% against the Sydney Sandpipers.
Oh, great work.
As we see a creative goal from McMahon. She averages 32 goals when she plays Sydney Sandpipers. At the moment, she has 30 from 36, so she's definitely going to beat that one with 4.5 minutes remaining in this quarter and another quarter remaining.
So tough call now for Avellino to take up the slack in the goal circle. She's been perhaps the second string shooter all year, with Morgan being the focus point.
Oh, I thought it was going to get away from McMahon there. Just managed to tap it back into Meany. Venice into Southby. And they really do look like they're chasing now, the Sydney Sandpipers.
These two shooters are in magnificent form, and Meany has had clear access to the top of the circle throughout the duration of this game.
I think Southby and McMahon would shoot them from the centre circle if they got the opportunity, if it was legal.
Yeah.
They're getting further and further out, and their accuracy isn't changing. The Phoenix 55 over the Sydney Sandpipers 38. Under 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And it's been a miserable one for the Sydney Sandpipers.
And on reflection, the Sandpipers will perhaps look at this as we see Venice come through and almost gather that one. But they'll look at this game and they'll say, we had the opportunities. We were the same amount of attempts to post as the Phoenix, but we weren't able to sink the shot.
Avellino shooting at 83%. She's up there. McMahon and Southby 84 and 88%. Of course, their weight of goals is quite a bit more. McMahon, Harvey, through the hands of Doyle.
Pressure put on by Liz Taverner created the turnover.
And Taverner and Chatfield only have 16 penalties between them, which is amazing, considering, as you said, Monica, that they were defending Jo Morgan. Chatfield has 10 against her name, and in a very, very credible performance. And she must have had a bit of a smile too, Bianca Chatfield, when she saw that Morgan was benched, because that is the ultimate for a defender, to see that you have totally overcome your opposite player.
And I think the build-up before this game would have been that is who we have to shut out, shut down, and they have effectively worked as a unit all the way down the court.
So under 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter as Eloise Southby gets control of the ball and sinks another one for Melbourne. Well and truly are running away with it now, the Melbourne Phoenix, as the timekeeper makes his way towards the umpire. That is three-quarter time here at the State Netball Centre. The Melbourne Phoenix 57, the Sydney Sand. Underway in the fourth and final quarter for one of these teams in season 2001, and you can see by the score in the corner of your screen at this stage, it looks like it will be the Sandpipers who will bow out. And as that one goes over the baseline, bring it back. And there's the quarter by quarter. You can see it was tight. We thought we had a good match on our hands in the first quarter. The Phoenix went with just a one-goal lead to the first quarter break, but then they won the second quarter by 7 to hold a 37-29 lead, and then they restricted the Sandpipers to just 10 goals in that third quarter to extend their lead to 18 goals. The Phoenix 58 plays 39 currently. Avellino off target. And the Sandpipers shooting at 67% collectively. Oh, as that one just goes through the hands of Chatfield. Not to worry, she regathers. Chocolate onto Venice. Meany into Southby. Taverner. Meany, long ball.
Gerard read it well, went back on McMahon. So still fighting Monia Gerard.
Oh,
Well
good
done,
touch,
Taverner,
Taverner.
yes.
But just kept it in court, and Amy Stevens came up with possession in the end anyway, as that one rolls around and drops for Avellino. Brings up 40 goals for the Sydney Sandpipers.
Taverner and Flyner having a bit of a giggle, because as Taverner went back into the goal circle, took Flyner over. Nothing mentioned it. We see McMahon. Cheryl McMahon, 34 from 40 at 85%. Attempts to post overall for the Phoenix, 68 attempts.
Well,
Great shooting, 87% average.
McMahon averaging 31 goals a match throughout the season. Has shot 427 goals from 541 attempts. We're going to bombard you with statistics because it's a 19-goal difference at the moment. So as Cheryl lines up again. Oh, this time in and out, but Southby there to back up her partner in crime. One of the best shooting pairings in the competition, McMahon and Southby.
So the Melbourne Phoenix look at the moment to be heading into the preliminary final. They've only missed one final, and that was in 1998. And with the calibre of players they have in their forward line, McMahon, Southby, Meany's had a good game here today as well. Venice has been strong in centre. Oh, straight to Chatfield. Now Chocolate uses the sideline. Taverner assisting in driving it down. Phoenix playing the possession netball, but not just as I say, it goes over the sideline.
It's inevitable, it will happen. Just as you mentioned something. Gerard. Oh, great hands from Meany. McMahon turns around with a smile on her face because there was nobody back in the circle. Susan Meany just came out with a screamer of an intercept. I think she took everybody by surprise as Southby finishes it off for the Phoenix. Take a look.
There's Gerard straight into the hands of Meany. And Phoenix successful in shooting the goal at the end of that intercept.
And the Sandpipers struggling to get it down court.
A lot of basic mistakes now. Unforced errors creeping into the Sandpipers game. Halfway through the second quarter, I think perhaps the turn of it all was Morgan's inability to sink the shot for the Sandpipers and their confidence.
You know, that was a great example to all the young shooters out there who are watching Sherelle McMahon. At no stage did she give up there. She missed the shot. She went for the rebound. The ball went to ground. At no stage did she give up on fighting for possession. And in the end, came up with the possession and scored the goal. Had this been a closer match, that could have been the crucial winning goal. But good to see also that they're out by 27. She's still putting in the same intensity.
But that's confidence, though. I mean, if it was the other way around, I would suggest that perhaps there wouldn't be that intensity and endeavour, and perhaps the shoulders would drop and the head would drop. But here today, McMahon almost perfect. She's 39 from 49 at 80%. Southby has assisted her quite strongly in the goal attack role. Co-captain there, Eloise Southby, 28 from 31.
Susan Meany with the great quick pass to Eloise Southby. Eloise now with 29 goals, shooting at 91%. And she had a great match last week, shot at 85%, so coming good at the right end of the season, although she has been quite consistent throughout the year. Liner into Avellino. Not sure Avellino would be overly keen to have the GS on her back. Avellino 18 from 22. And the last time these two teams met was in round 13 down here in Melbourne at the State Netball Centre. You can see it was 62 to 48 on that occasion, as there's heavy contact. Stevens in the circle. McMahon continues on. Shoots her 40th goal, Sherelle McMahon, in her 75th Commonwealth Bank Trophy game.
Sure, she'll have a few champagnes tonight to celebrate a great win here by the Melbourne Phoenix.
Still a long way home, though, to the grand final for the Melbourne Phoenix. Finishing third after that loss to the Thunderbirds last week when they played off for the minor premiership but ended up dropping to third. And that hurt as McMahon goes down.
And there is little terrier Monia Gerard going with McMahon. McMahon almost coming off second best. Gerard getting up very quickly.
I think Sherelle hit her knees on the court. Bounces around, bounces in. When the luck's with you, it's with you. And tonight, for the Sydney Sandpipers, really not a match that they're going to be happy with. After a very good first quarter, 17 to 16.
Offside centre.
It's all fallen away. Christy Doyle bags her second goal, 2 from 4. Meany onto McMahon. Southby. Monia Gerard.
You'd have to question too, Simone, really, with Christy Doyle back on court here in that third quarter. She has got 2 from 4 at 50%. Would it have been better to keep Morgan on?
Well, she really hasn't made much impact, has she?
No.
You'd have to say. I mean, you can't blame, well, as you see Doyle throw a ball away quite easily, you can't really blame Lenore Blades for trying to make every opportunity available to her team, considering it's an elimination semi-final. But Morgan was shooting 24 from 38 at 63%. Southby, Tamini, Venice, and Southby. Oh, as McMahon goes down, That was no goal. Stepping was called, so Southby wasn't happy with it. McMahon took a tumble. And we've ended up at the other end with the Sydney Sandpipers scoring a goal through Natalie Avellino. Avellino, 22 goals from 27 attempts, shooting at 81% tonight as Sydney come up with another turnover. Under a minute remaining in the elimination semi-final of 2001. Doyle off target, 2 from 5 for Christy Doyle. As it's held up there by Kelly Venice, waits for some teammates to come through. Now Meany holds it up and just through the hands there of Eloise Southby. 4 turnovers for Southby, 5 penalties, but she's taken 3 rebounds and she's shot at 91% tonight. And McMahon scores her 46th goal. Takes the Phoenix's tally to 75.
Offside. Construction centre.
Doyle will line it up from distance. Off the rim. Avellino tries hard to keep it in court. Does just that, but it goes to a Phoenix player. Gerard. With the touch, Monia Gerard, but that's full time. And it is the Melbourne Phoenix who will advance through to the preliminary final.